Welcome to the Capital Spreads weekly update and the final weekly video of 2011, a year that will be remembered for many things. A tsunami and earthquake in Japan, the death of Osama bin Laden, the death of Kim Jong-il, and none other than the Eurozone debt crisis, which at the beginning of the year was never expected to intensify just the way it has. And probably what the year will also be remembered for is extreme volatility throughout the second half, with mass selling and uncertainty amongst markets going into 2012. Who knows what that will hold for the Eurozone, but just in the last few weeks, obviously there's been a rush to try and fix things as much as they can. But so far this week, really, it's been relatively flat. In the run-up to Christmas, the week before Christmas tends to be the most bullish part of the month of December, and really we have seen a little bit of a run higher, but on the whole, again, rallies tend to be short-lived. We're just trading a bit higher today, and the market is at 54.50, and the Dow had a relatively good session after a huge increase on Tuesday. Dow's firmly above 12,000 at around 12,140. The euro continues to find support around the 1.3 level, so a little bit of strength for euro dollar 130.90, and cable has been relatively flat, really. It's at 156.90. Gold has also recovered ground back above 1600, it's at 1650, and Brent has also seen a little bit more strength, it's at 107.90. This week really has been all about the action taken yesterday by the ECB, where they offered 3-year loans to European banks, and that was massively oversubscribed. It caused an initial rally and then sell-off as concerns over the Eurozone banking system. If they need this much money, they really must be in trouble. But hopefully it's going to alleviate the credit crunch that we're currently seeing in the European banking system, and hopefully should help them to restore their capital bases, and give them a bit more breathing space, and may even, ultimately, this is the idea, try and avert a recession in the Eurozone, which we're pretty much seeing across many of the major European economies already. So it's been a very volatile week once again. Other highlights have been Bank of England minutes yesterday, which said that there's very likely to be further quantitative easing in the early part of 2012, but the outlook for growth is very gloomy. The GDP numbers, the final release actually, funnily enough, this morning, have come in slightly better than expected. The final reading was expected to be 0.5%, but it was 0.6%. So that's good news for the UK economy, but still people very gloomy about next year's growth. 2012 UK GDP is expected to be around 0.6 to 0.7% for the year. The first quarter of the year expected to be about 0.3 or 4%. There may be a contraction in the second quarter before we bounce again in the latter part of the year. So it's been a very eventful week in the run-up to Christmas and the year-end. How are clients trading? Well, they were long the FTSE earlier this morning, so they benefited from the strength in the index so far today, and they've actually taken that profit already. So largely on the whole, FTSE position is pretty much flat, and that's the same for other indices as well. On the currency side, clients very much long the euro, and then on commodities they are very long gold, so they've been buying into the recent weakness and benefiting from the move back above 1600, but there's a very, very large position of long positions in gold. For the rest of the week, there are a few things before we shut down for Christmas, and that's the US GDP numbers today. Also the weekly initial jobless numbers, which were very good last week, and then Michigan confidence later on this afternoon, and then tomorrow the highlight would be new home sales from the US as well. So the theme of this week, we've had a little review of 2011, There is. We've also had a little look ahead for growth prospects in 2012. But the theme this week really is about December. Will we get the rally? We're currently 1% lower in the FTSE on the month of December. The Dow is just seeing a gain. So today's strength is encouraging. We may make that gain for December. The rest of the week is obviously going to be quiet because tomorrow is only a half day, and then there's not much trading in between Christmas and New Year, with several bank holidays in the UK. So the big question is, can we see a Christmas rally? Well, at the moment we're still in negative territory, but judging by today's move, it could be possible. That's it for this week, that's it for this year. A very happy Christmas to all of you, and wishing you a prosperous 2012.